All right, next up is Melbourne Victory, who finished fifth last year. They were in the grand final. They did upset Auckland in a really big semi-final last year to make it, but unfortunately lost to City 1-0. Their record was 12 wins, 7 draws, 7 losses. They do have the third highest season average crowd of 12,778, which we would expect Melbourne Victory fans. Very loyal base down there, and they'll be looking to grow on that one as well. Patrick Cosnorbo, though, leaves after just 7 games last year, and Arthur Dials had to come in and take charge on an interim basis, going winless in the first 6 games before signing a permanent deal and really getting that stability. Lost just twice at home last season, which you'd expect. It's a fortress down there at Melbourne Victory, but haven't won the A-League Championship since 2017-2018, which is a very interesting fact. And again, they've been heavy on the recruitment as they try to get up to that next level again, which they've been trying to do for the last few years, just falling short. What's the player movement in and out?
Yeah, I was actually really concerned about Victory until probably a month or 6 weeks ago because they hadn't done a lot of work in the transfer market and they'd lost a fair few of their key players from last season. But they've really stepped up their game more recently and they've brought in some fantastic signings and really there's some young talent and there's ones that were the young talent probably a few years ago have gone and tried their hand overseas and come back. So plenty of storylines to keep an eye on. Let's go through the ins. Louis Dorigo, Keegan Jelicic, Franco Lino is in on loan. Kane Razmovsky, Sebastian Esposito, obviously part of that under 20 team. Jason Davidson, plenty of experience there at left back. He's even playing left centre back, I think, at times at his previous club. Enrique Saglan comes in on loan. Jack Mihalides was promoted through the academy, as is Daniel Lazarevsky. Oliver Dragicevic, Xavier Stella. Denny Johnrow is a big one coming in for sure. Jack Wachowski's come across from the Mariners. Matt Grimaldi, massive signing in my eyes, one of the key ones from Western United.
He's a star.
Yeah, and their big marquee signing, Juan Mata. Very interesting how he will be used. Maybe we'll touch on him in a sec, mate. Let's just first touch on their out. So Fabian Monge, Alex Menelo, Christian Siciliano, Casey Boss, a big one leading for Mines. Daniel Zani has gone for Varos. Ryan Teague, Mitch Langrak retired. Zinedine Mashash has also left as well. So it's almost like as big ins as they are out, but I think they're probably slightly stronger. There's definitely some big outs there. You think of Casey Boss, was key last season. Teague was very influential. Azani had his moments. Mashash is a big out in my eyes as well. So different profile type players, but I think given the fact that Arthur Dillis has come in and it's his first season, probably trying to pick more players that are going to suit his style. What are your thoughts on Juan Mata? We did briefly discuss this on the podcast when he signed, but I think I don't expect him to play a load of minutes, but I think he's going to be much better suited to Arthur Dillis' system.
Yeah, we talked before. It's the right formation for him and the right club, the right style of football. I think tick, tick, tick for those 3 boxes. I think playing with Grimaldi or Grimaldi obviously will start for me. He's going to be an absolute star. He already is. And I think he'll play a nice cameo role with him and maybe come on for him later in the game as well. I think Victory got a huge amount of depth, but Yamada is just going to add those little moments. But I think the environment suits him better. Melbourne Victory, third highest crowd. I think everything fits in with Marta going to Victory. I just don't think Marta fitted in with Western Sydney's formation and the style that they wanted to play. And we've seen the obviously the challenges when that happens. But I just think perfect team, perfect fit. Melbourne Victory, and I think they'll use him well. Arthur's going to have a full pre-season, as you said, and they've got some real depth, real experience. I just think this is a very strong team and will be right up there challenging. They've got depth over the park. They have lost a lot of key players, but have brought in just as good and even strengthened, like you said.
I think Patrick gave us some feedback on X. I think he makes some really good points. So He says, surely the recruitment of Louis Dorigo, Keane Jelicic, and Denny Jonro is a massive plus. All still relatively young, all now with some tough Euro club experience following the Segacic/Teague model. So we do see that a bit, players young going over to Europe and then coming back to the A-League. But those three in particular, I think, set for big seasons. Obviously, Jelicic was on loan at Brisbane Roar last season, so played in the A-League. But particularly the other two, they'll be looking to come back and make their mark for sure.
Oh, look, I picked Dennis Generou for the A-League Player of the Year. I think it's probably one of the best signings of the A-League, getting him back at Melbourne Victory. And they've got the under-20s captain. They've got Esposito, huge leader on the park. He'll fit right into that central defence. They're going to be hard to break down. They just look great at both ends, don't they, Victory? And then they're really solid in the middle with a bit of flair. Luis Dorigo, Lino, Jenner, who we spoke about, Grimaldi's going to have, I reckon, have a breakout season, and Josh and Sarah as well, like more talent there. So there's plenty to be excited about if you're a Victory fan. I think this is probably one of the most solid squads they've put together for a long time.
Let's have a look at their first 5 games, mate. Auckland, the rematch of that semi-final. Then they got the high-flying Jets in their second game, Perth in their third, big Melbourne Derby, as we mentioned in the Melbourne City preview, and then Big Blue against Sydney FC. So there are some tough games in that first 5 fixtures. So I think getting off to a good start will be key to their campaign.
Yeah, massive start against Auckland, but they're at home, and we said how tough they are at home. We expect a massive crowd. Auckland, I think there's only a few away seats
Yeah, I
available for
just
this
saw
one as
that.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be huge. Well, and I think it's prime time TV as well. So yeah, what a way to obviously start the season, have a Melbourne Victory play Auckland, and then play the Hahn Cup Newcastle side, and then Perth. Obviously, will be interesting to see how Perth goes, and then the Melbourne Derby, as we said, they've got an advantage there with City obviously having to play away in Japan, and then another big game, Sydney FC. So, wow, if you're a Victory fan, you're going to get your money's worth, especially in that first 5 games, aren't you? It's going to be crackerjack games, all the big ones.
Absolutely, mate. And what's your prediction for Melbourne Victory this season?
Oh, I picked fourth, but I reckon between 2, 3, and 4 is going to be super tight. I may have undershot it a bit. I think they're going to be right up there with Auckland, but yeah, no, definitely minimum 4 for me. They're definitely in the top 4.
I've got them 6th. I
We
think
won't
they.
hold that against you, mate. That's okay. The
Well,
Victory fans, Patrick won't be happy with that.
I think it might take a little bit of time for their players to gel in, but look, I think they'll definitely be in the finals mix for sure. But as I said, that finals race is going to be really tight. So we'll see how they end up.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I let's hope Victory are number one with season average crowd too, and get all those crowds back. And they've definitely got the first 5 tasty games to get into at the start of the year.